A pair of doors opens. Groups of children runs out of the school with excitement and joy on their faces. One boy does not run, but walks out. His eyes are locked into a book he himself picked out from a library. And so, the great kaiju demon was vanquished and banished within Hoi because of the heroic efforts of Daimajin and Godzilla. Wow.
Hey, Ganti!
The young boy, Gantulga Ozawa, closes the book and turns around. A smile forms as he spots his friend, Michael Sato.
Oh, hey, Sato.
The boy stops and walks with them down the sidewalk.
Hey, where did you go? I've been looking for you all day.
I had to get away from those jerks. Kudo and Mako? Who else? And thanks for having my back. That's what friends do. Hey, you got time to play?
There they are! Come here!
The two hear voices of the boys they were talking about. They turn, and all they see are muddied up boys and their faces bruised up.
I guess not! Run!
The friends starts running. As they do, the sound of a ship's horn can be heard by all offshore of the beautiful city on a lovely afternoon. The front door of the house slides open and Gantulga walks inside. I'm home! A woman, sitting at a table in the living room, looks towards the door. Welcome home! The mother stops her sentence the moment she laid eyes on her child. She stands to her feet and walks up to him as Ganti closes the door behind him. Oh my goodness! What happened to you? What do you think? Those same boys from school trying to beat us up. She reaches to her side, grabs a kitchen towel, and wipes his face. I swear, that young man Sato will keep getting you into trouble. Mother, I was the one who had to help him. We're best friends. She stops wiping his face and stares at him dead in the eyes. What kind of friends keeps getting into fights? I wasn't the one that started it. Well, at least there's no bruises. Take a bath and get ready for dinner, okay? Yes, ma'am. She turns back and walks away from him. Gandhi's mind drifts needlessly. But then, a single thought comes to him. Hey, can I ask you something? She stops and turns back. What is it? Why did we move to Japan in the first place? I heard from the other kids that I'm not born here. Is it true? Yes, it is. Gantulga is stunned to hear her answer. Why? Batar darts her eyes away, finding it very hard to answer his question. She approaches him and kneels down to one knee. It's a long story. Why don't we have dinner and talk about it there, okay? Ganti doesn't understand, but he nods, agreeing with her. 7:05 p.m. The family, with the father, Yoshiyuki Ozawa, are at the table eating a great turkey and sushi feast. As they do, however, Gantulga once again asks why he is a Mongolian child not living in his home country. The answer that he is given is baffling to the young boy. What? That's it? We're in Japan because of the Chinese and Soviets? Gantulga, I know it may be hard to understand, but we didn't have a choice. But father, why didn't you stay and fight? You were a former soldier, weren't you? Yes, I was, but we would have been dead had I not gotten us out of there. But why didn't you just, I don't know, move to America? It wasn't our first thought, but after reading the segregation laws, I thought against it. Huh? Let's just say that you're lucky that you are only bullied for being you and not have people throw racial slurs or hateful comments towards you. Okay, but why not Europe? The mother and father looks away from their Japanese-Mongol son with a deafening silence. Gantulga himself notices it. Oh. Disappointed, he and the family continues to eat. 9:00 p.m. Gantulga sits on the roof of his house. His eyes gazes upon the stars with the sound of crickets echoing in the distance. I wonder what it's like in my own home. What it feels like. What it would look like. Hey, it's time for bed. He hears his own father coming from the left. He turns his head, seeing him sticking his upper body out of the window. Father, can I ask you something? What is it? Is there a way to return home to Mongolia? Well, to be honest, I don't know. From what I heard, it's not like how your mother lived through it before. It's much different back then. How so? Well, for one thing, it isn't like when Genghis Khan united all of the tribes under one empire. It's a much different environment today. Hearing the name Genghis Khan piques the boy's interest. Genghis? He was a former conqueror whose empire travels throughout Asia to Eastern Europe. Gantulga crawls to his old man, grabbing onto his arms. It was that easy? Far from it. He grabs his son and pulls him inside of the bedroom. Now, off to bed. Yes, sir. The window closes. The father walks out of the room and Ganti crawls into his futon. The boy's head stares up at the ceiling with one thought in his mind. Combining all tribes into one empire. The boy smiles before his eyes closes. Yeah, I got an idea on that. In their middle school uniform, the friends Sato and Ozawa walks along the sidewalk. The former looks at him utterly shocked. Wait, you're going to what? Create a new Mongol empire. The way in which Gantulga said it was full of confidence. I'm sorry. Ozawa's smile turns into a frown. Oh my god, you gotta be out of your mind. One glare at him says a different story. Oh shoot, you're being serious. Of course I'm being serious. Ganti, come on, it's impossible. Hey, my father would always say nothing is impossible. Tell that to the Soviets. Screw them. Wait until you see me in the headlines, overtaking the British and the Japanese as the greatest empire on earth. His mouth gets covered by Sato. Maybe you shouldn't say that out loud. He removes his hand from his mouth. Look, if you're really serious about this, you need to start off small. Start off small, huh? Hey, is it true that your father enlisted you in the Imperial Army? Yeah, I didn't like it at first, but then I realized, wait a minute. Japan just occupied Manchuria. This could be my chance. Seriously? You're joining the army just across the Mongolian border. You're saying it like it's a bad thing. Because it is! You would get shot if you desert! Look, all I want is to know what it feels like to walk or ride among the Mongolian steppe. What it feels like to ride on a horse. What it feels like to... Damn it, now I need more goals. Sato facepalms and sighs. Look, you know what? If you really want this, I guess there's no point not joining the army with you. Ganti's face lights up with joy. Wait, you do that for me? Of course. We're friends to the end, remember? He lifts his hand, showing the Japanese-Mongol a smile on his face. Gantulga smiles and shakes his friend's hand. Well then, I'll see you when you get in. Wearing a holdout cap and khaki uniforms, Ozawa and Sato, both of whom are now 18 years old, stand side by side, hands behind their backs, in front of the desk. Sitting behind it is the recruit officer, Sergeant Kenpichiro Yaguchi, reading the papers of the team's orientation. Let's see. Marco Sato, born on March 17th, 1919, standing at 182 centimeters. Siblings, only one. Mother and father, born in Hokkaido and Osaka respectively. He sets the paper down and looks at him. Seems like you'll do just fine. Thank you, sir. The sergeant picks up the next paper. All right. Gantulga Ozawa. Strange name. Born on January 12th, 1919, standing at 185 centimeters. father, former army officer from Tokyo. The mother, born in Mongolia? Yes, sir. The sergeant lifts his right eyebrow and darts his eyes up. You're Mongolian. Half Mongolian, sir. At least your Japanese is fluent. In the past 6 years, Michael had taught his friend how to speak fluent Japanese more fluently, just in case something like this might happen. Yaguchi looks back at the paper. It says here that you were born in the Mongolian capital, Urga, today's Ulaanbaatar. Yes, sir. And it also says here that you and your family moved to Japan at an early age. Is that right? Yes, sir. That is right. Yaguchi is very suspicious. He carefully places the paper down and stands up from his chair, not taking his fierce, scornful eyes off of him. Tell me something. What do you believe in? I'm not sure if I follow, sir. Do you follow politics? No, sir. Well, that's good. The sergeant puts his hands behind his back. He turns his body and slowly walks around the desk. Because if you did follow politics, I would have suspected something. Our empire is trying to avoid certain politics in our society. One of them being communism, the main ideology of the USSR. And if I remember correctly, Mongolia also fell to communism in 1924. His voice is becoming more tense as he stands on Ozawa's right side. The young teen does not turn his head, but he feels the anger in the man's face much closer to his. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say you were sent to Japan as a communist spy, a deceiver whose goal it is to incite revolution within the army to rebel against Emperor Showa. The venomous words terrify Ozawa internally, but he tries his greatest to remain steadfast. The sergeant steps back and walks around him. So tell me, are you here to enlist to fight for our glorious emperor, knowing that you will fight or die for our empire? Or are you just a pawn in the wheel, ready to explode the entire system? Sir, Yaguchi stops in front of the two. I can assure you that he is full of our Japanese spirit, and he is willing to show you. Yaguchi stares at Sato with a vicious scorn, but his eyes darts back to Gantulga. Is that so? Well, let's put it to the test then. Ozawa, what do you do when you come across an enemy sniper? Create a diversion, allow the others to provide cover fire, flank, then take out the sniper. The sergeant is impressed with his quick response. What do you do when you run out of ammo for your rifle? Reload, switch to the sidearm, or charge at the enemy, bayonet fixed? Final question. If a traitor is discovered in your squad, what is the appropriate action to take? He shall be beheaded by katana with no mercy. Yaguchi smirks, then darts his eyes to Sato. Well, Mr. Sato, it looks like you're right. His Japanese side is much greater than the other. He walks away from the two recruits, back to his seat behind his desk. You two will be going through training in Manchukuo next month. Don't make me regret my decision. Dismissed. The two salutes, turns, and exits the office. Walking away from the office door, the friends breathes a heavy sigh of relief. Hey, thanks. I told you, right to the end. And we made it. Yeah, one step closer to my goal. Look, now that we're in the army, let's take it easy on the whole returning home bit. Oh, come on, you're gonna curb my hopes just like that? I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up. It's something that you're going to get used to. I don't think I will.